Hey, this is Matthew from Living Bridges Embodied Counseling and Coaching, and this video is going to be an introduction to the I, you, we work that I offer. So I, you, and we is a name that I've given to a series of workshops and classes and day-longs that I offer that are all focused around intimacy, closeness, physical touch, and they're a combination of contact improvisation, mindfulness, and attachment theory. They're geared towards people who are maybe struggling with feeling isolated in your life, maybe even in large groups of people. You might find yourself surrounded by people and still feel isolated. It's for people who are feeling kind of compulsive in their relationships, their intimate relationships. Maybe you're behaving in ways that you don't totally like and you want to understand some of the stuff that comes up for you. Maybe you're feeling threatened by closeness with your partner. Or maybe you start to feel anxious when they leave and you want to understand what are some of the dynamics that's causing that behavior. And really it's also for people who just want to feel more touch in their life, who want to feel more comfortable with touch, more comfortable with physical proximity, and also just more comfortable in your own skin, really just more comfortable in your own body. The work is based on the truth that we're super vulnerable as human beings. We are incredibly dependent upon each other, and that's by design. We evolved that way. There's nothing on the planet that is more vulnerable for as long a period of time as a human infant. And that prolonged period of vulnerability is a source of potentially incredible nourishment, and it can also be really anxiety producing for a lot of us for all sorts of reasons, which we'll go into in the workshop. As I said, the three pillars of the work is mindfulness, and what mindfulness is, basically it's the ability to start to slow down the movie of our life to frame by frame by frame. And in that slowing down, we can all of a sudden start to notice what is behind our automatic and our habitual behaviors. So it's really helpful. We can't really change much unless we can slow down enough to sort of notice what's underneath the automatic and really fast responses. Another part of the work is contact improvisation. So contact improvisation is super fun. It's a dance form that's based on contact, on physical contact or energetic contact. We learn a lot about touch. We learn a lot about being comfortable in our body. We learn a lot about our own structure and how we orient towards closeness. And it just feels really juicy sometimes to be able to just get in there with another body and with ourselves and just get more comfortable with that. And then the last part of the work is attachment theory. And attachment theory basically is the study of how our earliest experiences from the womb, from early childhood, those experiences of closeness and connection or lack thereof really can influence how we behave in our adult relationships. And so the series that's coming up, the Spring Intensives, is going to be 4 day-long intensives. They're 2 weeks apart. The first one starts on Saturday, March 25th. They can be taken individually or as a series. And each one of those day-longs will focus on a particular developmental stage. So, as I kind of progress from birth, infancy, up until about 5 or 6 years old, there's developmental stages that we go through as we kind of go from being in the womb, completely merged, into more and more of an autonomous self. So the first day long will be on connection, and connection is that experience. A baby in the womb is just completely merged with the physical environment of the mother, and up until about 6 months, until we start to move or crawl, there's a really profound sense of just closeness. The language is touch. The language is in the body, and the first day long will really look at that and start to explore that part of our own nervous system and how we orient towards connection and closeness in our life. The next stage is attunement. I think that's April 8th. And the attunement phase is as we start to, be more individuated, all of a sudden, we can notice, how is the environment listening to us? And how are we listening to the environment? And how do those two feed upon each other? So it's really, the ability to, again, slow down and kind of like tune your frequency to another nervous system, and also kind of notice, how was that for you? How do you orient towards, the environment? Will it adapt to you? Is it going to listen to you? Or do you need to adapt to it? The next stage will be trust. So, as you imagine, you start to develop an individuated sense of self that's separate from your parents. All of a sudden, there's this self that you have to put in their care. You start to recognize, I'm separate from you, but I still need your care. I still need your closeness. And, that can live in us as a bit of a bind. And contact improvisation is great to explore trust, because there's the possibility of actually sharing weight, of actually leaning into a partner. So the two of you are mutually dependent upon each other, and it moves it out of the realm of theory and into the body. So you can have a felt sense, right here, right now, in present time, of how do you feel about depending on another person, or depending on a wall, or even, depending on gravity to support you. And then the last day long will be on autonomy. So again, as you have the sense of self, autonomy is how we sort of expand and grow. So you can imagine it's like the ability to go out to the edge of your experience, try something new, and then come back to that secure base, ideally, of our parent, and also ultimately the secure base of your own body and your own experience of your life. And we do that in our lives. We kind of expand out into new things, and then ideally we come back to that secure base. We integrate, and we move out, and we integrate, and you can see it's kind of like a breathing, and we do that in our lives in ever widening circles. So that's the 4 series. It's connection, attunement, trust, autonomy. They're all a day long. They can be taken individually or as a series for a discount. You can find out more about that on my website at www.livingbridges.net. You can also email me at matthew@livingbridges.net. You can put a comment in the video here, and I'll try and get back to you as quick as I can. So that's it. That's the work. That's my introduction. I'd hope to see you there, and I hope you're having a good day.